The topic being about meditation and how to become a good meditator. We will try to see this topic, though I might not be a perfect example, since I am not a very good meditator. But I can try at least to share my thoughts and whatever little I know about it. Meditation actually has various forms. There are different types of meditations, there are different types of meditators as well. If we talk about meditation in general, we could classify as concentrative meditation. We can also talk about the analytic meditation, and try to see also what kind of obstacles can we meet when we engage into this type of meditations. The concentrative meditation can have different objects of focus, so the mind will focus on a particular object, either a mentally created object, which we visualize usually in front of us, a certain height, which can be any object basically. Of course, we could meditate on a flower, on a spoon, though we know there is no spoon, but that could be an object of meditation without any problem. Of course, more spiritual will be our object of focus, and better it is, better it supports or sustain our meditation. So we can take a Buddha, we can take our yidam, of course, ideally, or a mandala or a symbol which speaks to us, which helps us to focus and to place the mind on. The object of our concentrative meditation can as well be our own mind. So somehow we can focus on the mind in the sense of focusing on the present moment and on whatever is happening within our mind. With the mind as an object, we are careful not to be caught by any thought. We are careful not to follow any thoughts, but to simply remain very relaxed, focused, but relaxed in the sense that we are not holding, we are not grasping any particular idea, which appears to be easy eventually at first, but turns out to be much less easy than said, because we are not used to it. We are clearly used to jump from a thought to another. We are used to switch from a project, from the shopping to car repair, to the kids, to whatever makes our daily life, but not to remain focused for a longer period of time. When we take an object, mentally created object, of course we have somehow an additional difficulty, which is the visualization. We are not used either to visualize a lot, and less with the development of the new technology, because we are watching the TV or the movie or video games or whatever is capturing our attention with an already created picture and animation. So we might not be used to visualize a lot. But we all have this possibility. It's not possible to say, I cannot visualize. No, you are not used to visualize, but if you train, if you keep trying, it will happen. it will take place. I don't know so far anybody who, after a certain amount of time, has not been able to see the desired object or the wished object. Then we have the analytical meditation. And the analytical meditation, instead of having an object of focus, we have a subject. So we focus our attention on a subject. This subject could be an emotion, or this subject can be karma, or can be bodhicitta, or it can be emptiness. Whatever subject we will choose, we need to remain within the frame of that subject. So we have a little debate with ourselves, eventually asking ourselves some questions in order to define this subject, to enter really in depth of the subject. At the first time, the first sessions, we might be stopped by some questions we cannot find an answer. In such case, between the sessions, we will inquire either with our Lama or with our Dharma friends or with books, trying to find an answer to the question which remained unanswered during our meditation. So the next time we can progress a little bit further because we have answered somehow our question. Now, of course, there are various difficulties which might arise during the meditation, and we could classify them in two main categories. One will agitate our mind, and the other difficulty is more when our mind wants to switch off or go to sleep. So we call this dullness. So our mind enters in a state of torpor and dullness, and if we do not apply any antidote, we will literally fall asleep. And the other side, we have agitation of the mind. The mind is excited and follow thoughts instead of remaining focused. So the mind will be really like a wild monkey, which does not allow us to remain focused on our mind or on any object we have chosen to remain focused. When we have this disturbance of the mind, like the agitation of the mind, we need to apply a kind of antidote. This antidote can be to focus more strongly or more precisely on our object. For example, if you have taken a Buddha, let's say Shakyamuni Buddha, you see the whole, you try to see the whole picture of the Buddha, and if your mind is starting to wander around and follow some thoughts too easily, you will focus maybe just on the face of the Buddha or just on the eye of the Buddha, somehow bringing a need of clarity of that object. That clarity will stabilize your mind. At the contrary, if it is more torpor or dullness, which starts to enter your mind, you will try to brighten it. You can visualize for a short moment the sun or a sunny sky or a sunny scenery, which will brighten your mind. Of course, when dullness is a little bit too well installed, you might find useful to stand up, make few steps, sprinkle some water on your face, and start again to meditate. Now, how to be a good meditator besides the application to the practice, and beside a strong motivation and finding the right antidote, it is really to understand how important is meditation. I believe that a certain amount of people sit down just with the wish to relax, mostly to relax their body. So they sit, they close their eyes, and they have less thoughts. So they are still thinking, but less thoughts give them the feeling that they are meditating. And it might suffice them for a while. We need to understand the utmost importance of meditation. If we aim at changing our mind or changing the way our mind is working, we need to meditate. We need to have or to regain somehow this capacity to apply your mind to one point, to one focus, anyway, yeah, one object. It is very important for many reasons. If later on you apply the mental stability or mental quietness on a topic as deep or complex as karma or as emptiness, then you will be able to follow a certain debate within yourself, which is necessary to come to a certain conclusion about the non-inherent existence of phenomena. If the mind is not concentrated enough, you will not go deep enough in that subject. And if you are not going deep enough in that subject, you will not realize it. You will think about it, you will turn around, you will babble with yourself, eventually you will discuss with yourself about a book or about a theory, but you will not realize it. The realization is something specific. It is really when a specific topic sinks in your mind, become one with your mind. And for this to happen, your mind needs to be absolutely calm, absolutely tamed, absolutely quiet. Then, placing a quiet mind on a topic, you can really absorb or become one with that topic. If you do not realize this quietness, then it is very difficult to go deep enough into a topic to become one with it. The second very important reason is when you enter into the Vajrayana, when you enter into the visualization of the inner energetic system, the energetic centers and the channels and the little letter that you need to visualize here and there of that color emitting rays which goes eventually outside to another Buddha and so on. This requires also a very calm and concentrated mind. If between the meditation on one chakra to another chakra or one letter to another letter, your mind is going away and think about something completely different, you will not have the focus which is required to gain the result of this kind of practice. So in any case, if you want to have a result of your practice, meditation is an absolute necessity. We can say that Vajrayana is a path which can lead us very quickly to enlightenment, because we say we can reach enlightenment in one lifetime, but for sure to benefit of the Vajrayana practice and to reach higher state of consciousness, we need to have a good concentration. You need to have realized what we call shine, or the mental quietness. When we start to meditate, we are facing also with some tensions, several types of tensions which will disturb our mind. One of the tensions is clinging to the result. We know that we need to reach a certain result, a certain mental quietness on one side, but on the other side, if you really cling to it, if you have a strong attachment to a result, whatever result you are attached to or whatever result you are expecting, it will become a tension within yourself. I mean by this, you start to meditate, you want to visualize a specific object, a Buddha or a symbol, and you are tensed about this wish so much that the tension itself is a disturbance to reach this goal. So the more tensed you will be wishing absolutely to visualize this and that right now, and the less you might reach that result. So when we start to meditate, of course, we establish the motivation, we establish our goal, and then we need absolutely to relax the mind. So you want to meditate, you place your mind on the meditation, you know what you need to do, and you do it peacefully. And eventually, that meditation will not bring you a specific result. Maybe that meditation today, you will not be able to visualize so well or to visualize at all for whatever reason. The day was a little bit disturbing, or you got some specific news which will not allow you to really focus the mind today. And it's okay. You will do it again tomorrow and you might do it better. If you start to meditate, you want absolutely to see this, and you do not see it, you will be disappointed. You will be somehow angry or annoyed at least. And this annoyance is an obstacle. It's an obstacle which can grow and grow and grow up to giving you the wish to give up. A lot of people have given up their practice because they had very strong expectations which were not fulfilled in the limited amount of time that they gave themselves, and they gave up. It was not interesting anymore, or it was irritating for them, and they decided to stop. We should avoid this. Everybody can meditate. Everybody can visualize. For this I have no doubt. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of training or practice. It's a matter of faith as well, because at the beginning you try to visualize. If you're not the type of person to see clearly pictures in your mind, it will take time before to come. When I say it will take time, we can talk about years sometime. Yes? Some people, after some months of very good practice, they will start to visualize well. Some people, it will take months. Years, sorry. In a way, years is many months also. So we should not be disappointed, and we should not let discouragement to take place within ourselves. We keep going. If we do not visualize, we benefit of the meditation. Even the concentrative meditation, you cannot really visualize your object, you cannot really see your object, but you will know that your object should be there, and you focus on that. You focus on the place where your object should be visualized. You might not see an image, it will not be a picture at the beginning, but maybe in the darkness of your mind, it will be a lighter place, or some color will appear at that place. without to be really formed as an object or formed as a Buddha as you would like. Doesn't matter. Do not give up. Keep on your meditation. This engagement to maintain the practice till it gives a result is an important point. You are creating a goal in a way. Your goal is to reach that mental stability, mental quietness, visualization of a picture, and you will do it. Just a matter of time. So one of the tension that arises at the beginning is about this. Yes, we want something, we have an expectation, and that expectation might not be fulfilled without a desired time, lapse of time. And we can get annoyed by that, and we can get discouraged and abandoned. That is the worst. Yes. The same somehow regarding the analytical meditation. Sometimes our object, our subject of analysis is too broad and we get lost. We wonder at some point of the meditation what we were really meditating upon. This is happening. It should not be a source of worry. You just bring back your mind on the subject you decided to focus on. And at the beginning, if we consider a meditation session of 20-25 minutes, we can bring back our mind at least 30 or 40 times, because we are not used to stay on one topic. We are used to be like a butterfly. We pass from one flower to another, from a thought to another. No problem. At the beginning, it is normal. Don't worry about that. Bring back your mind gently, compassionately. Yeah, compassion is not just for the others. Compassion is also for yourself. Not to be mixed with self-cherishing. You don't self-cherish yourself. You just acknowledge that you need a little time, and you bring your mind back on your object. And the mind will go away. You bring back your mind on your object, and you repeat this again and again and again. At the beginning, it is very constant, very frequent. Later on, there will be less need for bringing back your mind, and as the time will pass, you will remain longer period of time focused on what you wanted to be focused on. So avoid any type of tension within yourself regarding the meditation itself. You want to meditate? Fine. First, you sit properly, you take a good position. Ideally, it is the position with Vajra position of the legs and little bits of space between the arms, the hand, the right hand on the left, with the thumb touching, and the shoulder will be relaxed, and the head will not be looking up or will not be looking down. The eyes can be half closed or can be closed as well, and the tongue will be in the relaxed position, which means to have the tip of the tongue touching the upper part of the teeth. You have the good position, which does not bring discomfort too quick. You take some breath in and out, 3, 4, 5 cycle of breathing in order to relax your energy, and then you take your object or subject of meditation. But the whole process needs to be tensionless. Yes? If you bring tension, you disturb your capability or your capacity to meditate. I think this is very important. Too many people get frustrated because they get stressed during the meditation, they don't get what they wanted and they give up. Or also, some people will think that just relaxing a little bit, breathing a little bit and sitting is the meditation in itself. But these are the external things. The internal is a state of peace. Your breath will slow down if you would be able to monitor it. Your heartbeat will also start to get lower, and your mind will stay peacefully concentrated on one object, or turning around one subject in order to understand it well. But again, in order to remain well concentrated on a subject, you need to have a mind which is already pacified. Maybe not having reached yet completely mental quietness, but a certain level of pacification. I mentioned at some point the position of the head. I would like to come back a little bit about it, because if the position of your head is looking upward, it increases your distraction or agitation. The mind is wandering more from a topic to another. At the contrary, if your head is a little bit down, this will encourage dullness. Yes, you take the position which is already starting to sleep in a way. So you might follow up this tendency. Another point which is important is to have meditation very regularly. Not to have just a meditation once upon a time, just every week or twice a week, but very regularly. When I say very regularly, I mean every day. At least one time every day. This is the basic minimum to keep going with a certain progress. But this is not enough. By experience, or the little experience I have about it, I can see that this is not enough. It is necessary to have throughout the day several moments of meditation. It might not be long according to your schedule, according to what you are doing, but it is necessary to come back to a meditative state. Even if it is just 1 minute, or even if it is 2 minutes or 5 minutes according to your time, it helps your mind to come back to a more pacified state and to remember about meditation, about mental pacification. So you can have a meditation when you stand up, when you wake up in the morning, which is always good because the mind is a little clearer in the morning. The whole mental processes didn't start yet. Meditation can appear more clear. A meditation in the evening, a little bit before to go to sleep, is also nice. It will help us to solve a certain amount of tensions accumulated during the day, and pacify the mind. And somehow it's a good beginning for the night. Yes. So a meditation in the morning, a meditation in the evening. Try to have this, to establish this every day. If you have more time, do it for more longer periods. Otherwise, make it for 15 minutes or 20 minutes. And if you have absolutely no time and you are extra tired, make it only for 5 minutes. But on a regular basis, keep 20, 25, 30 minutes. And in between the morning and the night, try to have a lot, as many as possible, small meditation. Let's say even if it would be 1 minute, try to have 20 times 1 minute throughout the day. In simple moments, you are walking from your office to the car, you are walking in a corridor, it's a long corridor. Take that time to be focused on the present moment. You do not engage in any other thought than the present moment. You can visualize in your head your object, or the Buddha, or your Yidam you want to meditate upon. And sometimes it's not even necessary, just focus on your mind. Just focus on your breath. Just focus on your steps. Just focus on what you perceive without entering into detail, without analyzing, without trying to follow a specific thought or another. You are just present in that moment. It's a meditation on your mind, just the state of your mind right now, what your mind is perceiving. It's a short meditation without any words, without any prayer, without any expectation, without any visualization sometimes. It is just a state of pacification. If you can get used to having this little meditation throughout the day, you will see that even your meditation of the morning and the evening will improve. They will get better. They will get better because you are training your mind. And in the Vajrayana we are talking about transformation of our mind, transformation of our reality. So how can this happen if we are not transforming our way of thinking, our state of mind throughout the day? If you have your formal practice, your sadhana with a little bit of incense, with dorje, bell and everything, but as soon as you put down the ritual object, your mind is falling back into the common way of thinking, and you will never really change in depth that mind. Because we are functioning since so long with that mind, and wrong habits and mental agitation and clinging and desire and anger and all the kind of mental factors and mental disturbances. We need to change that. And we can change that only if we change our way of thinking throughout the day. Then, after some time changing your mind throughout the day, your daily practice will change. They will have more depth. They will have stronger taste, we say. Yes. They will be more fulfilling because you have been more engaged into it. At the contrary, if we do not practice in this way, we might end up to do our commitments or our daily practices as a routine, as something we do repetitively, reading the text but thinking about something else, coming back to the text and then moving again. So your lips might continue to read the text, but suddenly you realize you are at the end of the text and you did not really thought about it, you did not reflect each word and each meaning of that text, in which situation the practice is useless. Yes, a parrot would do the same, or a computer would do the same. Ask your computer to read the text. Yes, if you want to make a difference between a computer and you, or a parrot and yourself, it's the understanding of what you are doing. So a practice should be done consciously, with full consciousness about what you are doing. And this is the result of meditation as well. This is a result of how to concentrate. So far I never met magical trick or magical pill which will transform somebody into a good meditator. It is a training, and it is a training which we need to be happy with. It's not that, again, I need to meditate. If you are still into that, as soon as you catch your mind engaging into this kind of thought, change it. Change it by remembering the benefit of the meditation. You have many texts about it. Lama Shenpen Rinpoche is speaking beautifully about the advantage and the benefit of this or that practice, this or that meditation, or meditation in general. Read these kind of texts. They are encouraging. They give a certain enthusiasm. And whenever your mind would engage into this, again, remember about the benefit. You are doing meditation not because anybody forces you. Not because you think, okay, well, maybe my teacher is looking at me somewhere in the sky, or the Buddhas are seeing everywhere, and so I should meditate. This is not the motivation. The motivation is, you know the benefit of it, and you engage willingly, happily into it. Yes? This is important. When you enter into the meditation fully, knowing what it will help you to achieve. That somehow that stimulates the motivation, stimulates the mind, and this type of happiness will help you to go through the meditation or go through the practice with more ease, let's say. Okay, when we do our commitments, sadhanas or mantras that we have promised to recite, it can happen due to tiredness, that we just recite it without much thought about, which is a pity. And remember that whenever this happens, and this surely happens or will happen again, but when this happens, make the wish at the end of this practice not so well done, make the wish that tomorrow you will do it better. Tonight you are so tired, or you are sick, or it's painful everywhere, or whatever. Tomorrow I will do it better. Even if tomorrow you might find yourself in the same situation and do the practice badly again, nevertheless, make again the same wish. Tell yourself again, tomorrow I will do it better. Yes, because in this way you are creating a specific intention. You are creating the cause that at some point really you will give yourself the time, or you will find yourself the time for a better practice or a better meditation. What else to say about meditation? There are so many things in a way to say about it, connected with the benefit, connected with the result which we will be able to achieve if we meditate well, if we meditate correctly. Any realization you can think about is based on meditating well. So, as we are in the Mahayana, as we are trying also to develop bodhicitta, we understand how important it is to meditate, what kind of responsibility we have somehow to know about meditation, to be able to read about meditation, to have teaching about it. Because of such practice, we will reach enlightenment. Before we reach emptiness, the understanding of emptiness, and so on. So, because of the meditation, we will reach higher level of consciousness, which in return will allow us to help the other beings more efficiently. Just this is an incredible motivation, it brings a very strong enthusiasm. Through my meditation, I walk towards higher level of consciousness and ultimately till enlightenment. And with this type of realizations, I will be able to help the others. Right now, it is even difficult to help myself, so I need to engage into the practice more often, more deeply. It will help me, it will help my practice to develop, and through the development of my practice, I will be able to help the others in a more efficient way. Meditation is helpful in every level of life, not just for your practice, not just for mental quietness and the realization of emptiness and so on. Whatever level of your daily life you can think about, meditation will be helpful. Take the kids. You have kids, you have been, are, or surely will be confronted with many different situations, some of them being very difficult. Kids will challenge your patience, for example. If you are not careful about your mind, if you are not able to observe your mind in many different situations, you will get angry. Anger is extremely negative. It happens, but it is negative. And while we are within this state of anger, we can say things, we can do things which we will regret. So, with the help of meditation, and specifically with this multiple meditation throughout the day, helping you to watch the mind, what my mind is doing now, which type of thoughts are in my mind. And this process, you can ask yourself, as soon as you have the smallest feeling your mind is disturbed. So you are in front of somebody who does not talk to you well, who say things which are very irritating or very annoying in many ways, and just when there is a beginning of this irritation, there is a kind of alarm in your mind which says, watch out. If you are not careful, if you do not observe your thoughts, you might get angry, and you don't want to be angry. So develop your patience. Work on the patience. Look at the person, understand the person, listen carefully, give you some little time, and then answer or act or react as you think it will be the best for the situation. Yes. Not just based on your irritation, not just based on any projection or egoism, but really trying to help that situation. Not to enter into the conflict, not to enter into any type of gangrene of the situation. Every situation, we talk about the kids, you can think about the job with the colleague, with the boss, you can talk with your partner, your wife or your husband. There are plenty of possibility to observe the mind and to pacify our thoughts at the moment they would just explode. Every time your mind would have exploded and you find the strength to remain peaceful, this is an achievement. This is a good result of your meditation, in a way. It gives a positive seed within your consciousness which will ripen positively for your practice, for your further development, further realizations. So every single time you manage to be aware, to breathe inside peacefully, not to jump out as an angry person, you have conquered something. You have made a step. baby step by baby step. This is how we progress. If you have too strong expectations about a goal to achieve within a time frame, you take the risk to be frustrated and to be discouraged and to give up. If you know the peaceful progress resulting from meditating often, observing the mind peacefully, bringing back this peace in your mind when it has gone away, then you will progress, then you will go further. Yes? I think most of the people that I have seen, unfortunately, to go astray in a way or another in their practice, in their relationship with their root guru or with other Vajra brothers and sisters, were people who did not know how to meditate properly. They somehow pretended to meditate. Maybe even they pretended to themselves, they lied to themselves that they thought to meditate well, but the mind was not pacified. And when the mind is not pacified and you don't have the right motivation and you don't apply the correct motivation often throughout the days after days, months, years after years, then you get annoyed, and then anything can happen out of your mind, any kind of mental burst or anger or trying to find the others guilty for your lack of realization or for your lack of happiness, because ultimately, since what we are looking for as the basis in our life is happiness, if we do not reach a level of happiness, we can get very angry. Angry against the others, angry against ourselves, angry against the Dharma, angry against the root guru, or the lamas in general, or the Sangha in general, and so on. And then people go astray from the practice and from the Dharma, which is one of the saddest mistakes I can observe. I did observe, and hopefully I will never observe anymore, but human beings are human beings. I formulate the wish for sure that whoever has met the Dharma, has met the teachings, the precious teachings, starting by meditation and going into analytic meditation or analysis of the reality and so on, and the practice connected with our energetic system and energetic body and mantras and so on. Whoever has entered into contact with such treasure will not give it up. Will not give it up because you know that Shakyamuni Buddha is the only Buddha who will teach Vajrayana within this aeon. Yes, we are talking about an aeon with 1,000 Buddha, but only Shakyamuni Buddha taught about in depth about the Vajrayana, which means that we are extremely lucky to be in touch with it now, to receive teaching, to know where to get teaching, to know where to read teaching about, and how to get the advice to deepen our practice. If we do not do it now, in this lifetime, in this moment, we have no certainty about meeting it again later. Yes? And when I say now, it is now. It's not when you will be retired, it's not when you will have finally the possibility to make a long retreat, and so on, because we have no idea about the future. How long will we live? Tonight we can die. Tomorrow morning we can not wake up and pass over to another life. And what this other life will be, we have no idea. If we have accumulated the right causes, eventually the next life we will be in contact with Dharma. But will we recognize the value of the Dharma at the time? Will we start again the practice? This is not sure. Right now we know what we have. Right now we have the possibility to practice correctly. And we should not spoil that possibility. It could be unique before a long time. It could be that life during which you can achieve something. And you might not meet this possibility again. And those people who have gone astray in their practice and have eventually abandoned their practice might have as well abandoned the possibility to meet again the Dharma for a very long time, which I wish to nobody. And I formulate every day the wish that even all these people whom I have seen going a little bit astray, I wish to be able to go wherever they will be born, to help them to find the Dharma, to hear about the Dharma once more and to reconnect again. So, there is no miracle to become a good meditator. We need to observe our mind as often as possible, peacefully, apply the right antidote immediately. I emphasize on the immediately, because if we don't do that, we don't know what will happen in the next second or the next minute. It's a little bit like a snowball at the beginning of a mountain. It's just a snowball. But once it goes down the slope, it might become bigger and bigger and bigger. And a snowball is easy to stop just with your hand. At the end of the slope, a few minutes later, it might have taken such a size that you cannot do anything anymore against it. You will be just taken away with it. Your thoughts can be the same. At the very beginning, you just observe, here there is a little thought of irritation. That person starts to hit my nerves. How do I react? Observe the mind. You know that anger is not the right solution. Losing your mind is not the right solution. Take a breath, pacify the mind, observe the situation peacefully and try to find the best answer, best for the situation, best for the others. Yes? Immediately. Don't wait to be angry. While anger has kicked in, it's usually very destabilizing, and it will require minutes before to pacify the mind again. Meanwhile, we have generated negative emotion, negative imprint, and we might have acted in the wrong way or said wrong things which will have negative impact. And when we talk about kids and education and so on, it's very important to be careful what we say, how we say, because everything has an impact on a developing brain. The more peace we generate and the more benefit we can bring to whoever we are talking to. Yes. So once again, there is no magic enabling a perfect meditation. It is your observation of your mind, the right motivation, the right enthusiasm, which will enable you to remember about meditation as many times as possible throughout the day and eventually throughout the night. Because if your motivation is correct, if the way you fall asleep is correct, your dreams might be of better quality and eventually rich in positive information and even in teachings. If you have set the condition right. Yes. Never go to sleep with an angry mind or pissed off or worried mind. Pacify the mind, recite your mantras, do a good meditation, and enter into dreamlands with a Dharma mind. If you enter into dreamland with a Dharma mind, your sleep might be a type of meditation. And further, you might have heard about dream yoga. So, following some specific instructions, it is possible to transform your night into a practice as well, and not to just have whatsoever dream and whatsoever thoughts while sleeping. And all this depends only on one person and nobody from the outside. It depends on you. You want to do it or you don't. You understand the benefit or you don't. If you understand the benefit, you will engage happily into the practice. You will remember about the practice often and often and often to change your mind, to change the way your mind functions and towards realization, towards bodhicitta, towards renunciation, towards a correct understanding of the true nature of phenomena. Meditation is a cornerstone. Without it, there is no higher realization. So, engage into meditation as often as you can, as peacefully as you can. And I think that's it for tonight. So, thank you for your attention.